Hi, welcome to How to Repair. Is your oven door not shutting correctly? It's slightly open or ajar, and the frame of the door is not sitting against the seal, letting heat out of the oven? Then don't worry, this video is for you. In this video, we're going to be looking at hinge alignment, the hinges, the retaining brackets that hold the hinges, and also the chassis of the cooker, and how to gain access to all these components and inspect them. The hinge system is quite a simple system. You have a hinge that goes into a retaining plate. It goes in at an angle, goes down, and then locks in place. Once it's locked in place, you're able to release the locking mechanism on the hinge. It only takes a small amount of misalignment at the bottom for it to create nearly an inch gap at the top, as we have here. And in this video, we'll go through all the faults and what to look for and how to repair when possible. The most common reason why oven door hinge systems fail is people put excess weight on the actual door. You may remove a Sunday lunch and place the actual pan on the door. This can be up to 2-3 kilos in weight and cause excessive wear on the hinges and also the retaining plates inside. The most common in the industry is the latch system. This normally applies to Hotpoint, Indesit, Whirlpool, Bosch, Neff, Siemens, Electrolux and many other manufacturers. The hinge system is quite simple. You actually have two little clips on either side and you need to lift these up with a flat blade screwdriver to lock them in place. Once they're locked in place, you're going to be able to lift the door up and actually pull the door away at a rough 30-degree angle and it will be removed. On stoves, New World, Belling and many other gas suppliers, the hinge system can work differently. These hinges are built into the door system on these machines and it's only a pin that actually runs up inside of the frame. So I'm just quickly going to remove the inner glass for safety. This will lighten the load. And I'm also going to have to create two locking pins. Now I'm using a couple of drill bits here and I'm actually putting them into the locking holes on either side. You would normally have a professional piece of kit for doing this, but small drill bits around 4 or 5 millimeter will suffice. Then there are two locking screws on either hinge side. Undo these. And then we're ready to remove the door. Be very careful with your pins. They are going to drop down slightly, but you really want to protect your fingers and anything from the hinges, because if they slip at all, they hold a lot of tension and can do damage. So I'm just going to slide these hinges out, making sure that my pins are in place, and then the door can come away and you've actually got access to the hinges now, and you would have to remove the chassis of the cooker to gain access to remove these hinges. To put it back on, it's quite simple. Make sure you line it up in the runners, slide it back down, but at this point, once you've got it down, you need to press the door down slightly, lift up your pins because they will stop the door going down all the way. Then we're able to remove the pins and replace the two locking screws, making sure that it's lined up correctly. Okay, first let me explain where these parts are. Firstly, the hinge is normally actually built into the door system. The hinge retaining plate is actually down at the bottom behind the frame. We'll show you how to get access to that first. But let me bring this up to the camera. The typical hinge has two pins here, which actually hold the spring in place. You want to inspect these for any actual bending or wear. Then you have the main pivoting pin, which holds this part of the actual latching plate to the actual hinge mechanism, which is held with the spring. You want to closely look in here for any wear or damage. Then, of course, you have the latching mechanism, which is the actual groove inside the hinge here. Now, if this is worn, it only takes maybe a couple of thou in movement to create a small gap at the top. And if I get the latching plate here and show you, this actually sits behind the frame, which we'll look at in a second. If this plate is bent in any way, or this mechanism is worn in any way, the actual pin will not latch properly. And if there is a little bit of movement on the bottom here, This would cause the actual hinge to be out slightly, causing a larger gap at the top. It's also worth noting that the springs themselves can actually become weak over a period of time. This could take many years, but if springs actually become weak, this will also cause the problem at the top of the door. Okay, to gain access to these hinge plates will vary from manufacturer to manufacturer. Some make it easy to actually extract these plates. Other manufacturers, you have to take the whole cooker apart. And when I say explaining how to take the whole cooker apart, once you've got the cooker out of situ, you would need to remove the top panel, the back panel, and the side panels on each one. We're going to be working on this cooker to show you how easy it is. But the first thing you need to do is get the cooker out of situ. Now, on double ovens, you normally have a couple of screws inside the grill door. And on the main oven, you would have a couple of screws inside the actual door frame as well. Undo these, and then you'll be able to slide the cooker out. On single ovens, again, it does vary. This only has 2 screws. Some have 4 screws, depending on the manufacturer. And as I've shown you, there are a couple of different variations in the way the doors come off. But we're going to work on this Hotpoint machine here, and it's straightforward and easy on this. Open the door, bend over the catches. The first thing you need to do is remove the door. Then put the door somewhere safe. You do not want to damage that. I'm going to remove the oven shelf as well. And now we can gain access to the 2 hinge points. And if I come down here and I just show you, you've got 2 screws here on each side, which will give you access to the plate. But on this machine, and let me turn it right round, you've got 1 screw on the side here as well. This needs to be undone. So we'll quickly undo that. Turn the cooker back round. And on this cooker, it's torque 20s, I believe. Undo these 2 screws. Slide the cooker forward slightly. And the plate will come away. These plates you can inspect. And if they're bent, it is possible to straighten them. If you've got a vise or possibly a good sturdy steel platform to put them on and then tap them back straight into shape, they will last. But metal fatigue will cause a problem over time. They're not usually expensive to buy these, and depending on your make and model number of the cooker, you will be able to get replacement plates. As I said, on other cookers, you have to take the side panels off and actually go through the procedure of stripping the whole cooker. Now let me show you a quick little hack you might not have thought of. Although this plate has got a little bit of wear, this is a universal bracket, so it can be fitted to either side. So if we quickly just remove the other hinge here, and drop that down, we can now use this one for this side because it's got new steel which hasn't been damaged. Locate that onto that side and do exactly the same on the other side, and you've got a free set of plates. Okay, once you've replaced the latching plates, make sure that you get the actual catches locking in correctly when fitting the door. So just drop the door in, make sure both hinges go in together, then drop the door down, give it a little bit of a wiggle, shut it down, put the retaining clips over, and hold the door a couple of times while you make sure that the door works correctly. I hope this video helped you. Remember, there's a link in the description below to any hinge plates that you need or any hinges that you need for your cooker. If you're having trouble finding them, use the contact us page on the website and we'll be happy to help. Thanks very much indeed for watching this video, and if we really helped you, you can always click on the donate button and buy Paul a beer. Thanks again for watching.